Hello, everybody, and welcome to Numeril. This is another great and wonderful episode of Dialogue with DaRil, and I have a wonderful guest with me. Her name is Dr. Angela Nichols-Young, and we want to welcome her to Numeril. How are you doing, Dr. Nichols-Young?
I am wonderful. How are you?
I'm blessed. I can't complain. Just excited about being in the land of the living and excited
Yeah.
about this opportunity to be able to chat with you and be able to introduce you to the audience there. So we're going to, just to start off, we'll go ahead and read your bio so we can let everybody know exactly who we have here. Her name is Dr. Angela Nichols-Young. She's a counselor, teacher, transformational coach, speaker, best-selling author, and founder of Healthy Services and Inspire LLC. Her business degree from University of Louisiana at Monroe and her terminal degree from Jackson State University have afforded her many opportunities from the boardroom to the classroom. Angela helps women of all backgrounds and professions use their power from within, transforming 5 key areas of their lives: health, career, financial, relationships, and spiritual. Angela has been featured in several news media outlets and has spoken and facilitated numerous conferences, workshops at high schools, post-secondary institutions, and churches. Angela attributes her success to God, networks, support systems, and mentors. With a sincere passion for her line of work and drive to succeed, Angela is sure to make more changes in the world around her. Everybody meet Dr. Angela Nichols-Young. Woo!
Hi, everyone. And once again, thank you for this opportunity. I am blessed for even to be asked to even be here with you. So thank you once again. And, when you was reading my bio, I was like, wow, I've done a lot.
Yeah. She's like, so how much you got? I owe you for that, right?
Right.
Yeah,
Um,
definitely.
the funny thing is about it,
Mhm,
I was on an interview
mhm,
a while back,
mhm,
and I had just gotten, my PhD, and then
mhm.
it's probably like a couple of years
Okay,
past it. And
gotcha.
so I had the committee had rendered my CV, my vita, to the committee, and one of the guys on the committee is like, "Well, most of us had done all that." I was like, "Oh, I'm
Yeah,
sorry."
yeah, some shade, huh? Throwing some shade.
He was throwing some shade. I was like,
Yeah.
"Okay."
Yeah. Well, since you keep on doing what you do, I'm always amazed and excited, especially to me, multi-talented people like yourself, because that's what it's all about. Just using your gifts and serving in a variety of capacities. Life stays interesting, and it's always a wonderful journey when you're able to do that. So keep on keeping on, wearing all those hats and doing what you're doing. So I know I mentioned those formalities in your background, but kind of tell the listening and viewing audience something about you that we didn't cover there.
Yeah, so I actually began my start in Providence, Louisiana,
All
a
right.
small town north of Monroe, Louisiana.
Mm-hmm.
And so there are a lot of things for its values and beliefs,
Okay.
and all those behaviors I was developed in the community, in the home with my mom and dad. So I am the second oldest of 10. And so
Okay.
with
Wow.
that came a lot of responsibilities of younger siblings,
Yes.
being responsible. Like I said, a lot of my core beliefs is stemmed and came out of the home of
Yes.
Lake Providence. And so from there at 18, I decided to, hey, I'm ready to go try to see what's like life is out of Lake Providence.
Yes.
I
Yes.
went on and pursued a degree at University of Louisiana Monroe.
Okay.
And I believe at the time that I
Mm-hmm.
got addicted to knowledge. And so
Gotcha.
I was like, oh, wow.
Yeah.
Someone actually shared with me one time,
Mm-hmm.
you just like learning. And I was like, yes,
Yes. Yes.
look at my plant over here. My
It's
plant agrees with me.
all
Yeah.
good. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so, and I got addicted to it. So I went
That's
on,
good.
and not just addicted to knowledge,
Mm-hmm.
but to how the mind works and how the
Gotcha.
mind controls the body and in our
Mm-hmm.
surroundings. So
Yes. Yes.
I took an interest in counseling.
Okay.
before, when I first got my degree, I went into the school system, and I actually was a school teacher for a number of years.
Okay.
I developed this passion for children. I just love children, and I think, and I believe that children are our greatest resources. And sometimes the community, the world, devalue children. They actually devalue children. We don't invest and train and ensure that our children are staying for its education wise, for its health, then we're going to see a lot of things that's going to go on in our world, because we have not did our job in training and educating and molding our children to lead the world. One day we're going to get old.
Yes.
Who's going to do this? Who's going to be leading the world? Who's going to be writing these policies? Who's going to be creating these businesses and all of that?
That's true.
And so I was like, well, I combined my passion, my love for education and children with counseling, because I saw so many children come into my classroom, who were either neglected, abused, and I know it was a direct correlation between how a child respond for his education-wise to what was going on with the home, or what was going on with the mind at the time. So I went on and got my master's in community and school counseling. And there I was afforded an opportunity to actually go back into the classroom setting. Well, actually the school setting as a middle school counselor. Now, because of the counseling role in high schools and middle schools are not as much as, me talking and communicating and trying to counsel children. Is more of, data and entering information, and scheduling, and a little bit of your time, of course, with the child or children to kind of help transform their life. And so after that, I was like, well, maybe I want to do more. And at the time, I was on my doctorate, my PhD. Then I went on to the university. I did a program called Upward Bound, where I helped low-income, first-generation college students in college, and which had a counseling component as well. Educating, training, and counseling. That's what I do. And was very successful in that, in getting those students to college and actually graduating, matriculating to receive their degree. Then I decided to take it a little further, and in my own mental health facility. It afforded me an opportunity to actually do more of the counseling and train other people in the community to actually render effective therapeutic services, so we can, do our part to transform lives. Because name it as it takes a community. Is just it takes a village to raise. It takes a village to ensure the success of your community. We have somehow gotten away from that. We become a society that's individualistic. It's me and mine, and not just I'm concerned about me and mine, but you and yours as well.
Gotcha.
And so that gave me some years to actually help some children and help families, and hopefully, implement strategies and therapeutic strategies in order to help transform their life, in turn that we can have a generation of healthy people. Because as you know, if I'm unhealthy and I have a child, then that child is going to be unhealthy as well. If it's a great possibility that that child is going to be unhealthy and have stinking thinking.
Exactly.
And so if I can change the parent, or empower, not change, but empower the parent, empower the child, then you'll see generations changing.
Exactly.
So about just empowering people with the necessary tools that they need to live their best life. Because God created us to live, that's our birthright, to live a good life. That's
Exactly.
that's our birthright, you know.
Yeah.
But things have, you know, happenstance, things happen, and
Yeah.
making decisions and doing some things where, you know, sometimes we have to get back on track and
Yeah.
restart.
Recalibrate. Yeah. Refocus.
Recalibrate,
Yeah.
reset, which is the new word for 2021,
Yeah. Yeah.
2020. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
you know, a lot of people are in a reset mode, you know, and I
Yeah.
am one
Yeah.
of them. Just, you know, resetting my core values and
Yeah.
resetting what I want to, how do I want to show up in the world, and how
Gotcha.
I want to influence and impact the people that I serve.
Gotcha. Gotcha. Well, that's awesome. So the main theme I hear in your work is just that counseling. I mean, you have a burden for counseling in every capacity. You're dealing with some counseling there. And one thing I like that you said as well was that you picked up that appetite for knowledge, that appetite for learning. And I'm also, my background is in education. I'm a former educator. And that's one thing I always try to encourage people to pick up that appetite for learning, become an avid student of life, and always look for the opportunity to learn. And whenever you get to that place, you would just open up all kinds of realms and opportunities and possibilities, because, you know, you're constantly, as you're learning, you're growing. As you're learning, you're changing.
Yes,
And
definitely.
yeah,
Definitely.
I think a lot of people who don't like to learn and don't have the appetite remain in the same place. You know, they remain stuck. But
Right.
as you learn, that mind grows and develops, and you'll be astounded and surprised at what all you can do as you learn more, and you know how better equipped you will be with more knowledge and wisdom, and be able to, like I say, go in any direction you want, to have options. But yes.
Right. And because our world, as we see, you know,
Mm-hmm.
me and you know, both of
Yeah.
us are in Louisiana, and
Yeah.
we just coming out of a snowstorm,
Yes.
you know,
Yeah.
a winter storm.
Mm-hmm.
And as we see, our world is changing. The world that I knew 20, 30 years ago no longer exists.
Exactly.
But if we are still educating and still doing, we still function in systems which are outdated, then we're not going to be prepared for the next thing, what's coming next. So that's why it's so important that, you know, we keep education and knowledge and training in front of us, as well as keeping a healthy mind and a healthy body, healthy spirit. You know, all those things go together.
Yeah, definitely. Like you said, a holistic approach, taking care of the whole man, you know, being concerned about each component, because each component is important and they all work separately, but also together. So like I said, if your mind is off, then everything else is going to be off too. Your spirit's off. So everything has to align, as I said, and you know, just collaborate and work together. And if everything is healthy, then you'll be a healthy being. But I appreciate your passion and your commitment to helping people, and really focusing, like you said, on changing that mindset, helping people to shift and transform, and just become what God has called them to be and created them to be. So what do you think really pushed you into, or what made you have that burden just to help people? I know you picked up the educational part in college and everything, but what gave you that burden just to see, man, I want people to be healthy and I want their lives and their minds changed?
Well, I guess because of my birth order.
Okay.
You know, the second oldest.
Mm-hmm.
And so, you know, right after me, I have three brothers, which is, you know, females are nurturers. And so
yes.
we want to take care, and we want to train, we want to make sure everybody's okay. So I think that just the dynamics of my family and where I was placed has a lot to do with it, because my three brothers, I am super close with my brothers. I have 6 sisters, but whatever. I love my brothers. And so I think that the nurturing and the servicing part of me, who I am in my soul, kind of just was nourished, you know, because of my birth order and because of my brothers, you know, naturally being, and I'm like in July, I'm Cancer. And so, you know, just having that, all those things, and when I was born, and where I was placed in order when God did all His great things to bring me forth here into the earth, is just, I think it's just an innate, skill that I have, that I like to help. I like to help because that is a part of who I am. And I think my motto is, my new motto is that I want to help one person every day. So it's hope. Helping one person every day. If I feel like I've helped one person daily or every day, I am doing my part. And the help can look in any forms, just greeting someone nice and hello, or letting someone go in front of me, in front of the line. Actually, last night I was in Chick-fil-A, because I love Chick-fil-A.
Okay.
And I was in the drive-through, and the line is just super, super long, because it's amazing. Always, right. Super long. And so, I was trying to get in this line to get food, and everybody was coming, and I had this young lady who, she was like, "No, I'm adamant not to let you go." I was like, "Okay."
Wow.
And it was just, and let me share with you how this all played out. And so she was adamant not to let me go. So the young man behind her let me get in line, and I got in line. And so, and I looked in her vehicle as we were ordering. She had like 4 little children in her vehicle.
Okay.
Wow, okay, it's dinner time for them. She got babies. And them babies probably hungry. And so, how Chick-fil-A is set up, you got at least 3 lanes. And so I was ready to go, and she was, because we side by side. I said, no, let her go first. So I let her go ahead of me. And then exiting, she couldn't get out. And I'm just saying how this played out. She couldn't get out, and to get back to the interstate. I stopped, let her go back, and say, hey, you trying to get these babies home. You trying to feed these babies. Hey, let me do my part. It's that. The small things, it's the little things. It doesn't have to be this grand type help. But just, let me just let you go and give you some grace, give you some love, every day. And so that's my motto. If I can help one person every day, I feel like I am doing my part and having a contribution to what God has created us to be and do here on earth.
Okay, awesome. And I love that motto. Like you say, just one person, it could be a small act, but it'll make a huge difference. And that's what it's all about, as you stated, the small things. Because sometimes people want to do something grand, or they believe that they have to do something grand. But it's those little acts of kindness, like you said there, that makes a difference. But that stems from the empathy within you, the God in you, to have that mindset, because you could have been irritated, like, no, since you didn't want to let me in, you're not getting out, and I'm getting ahead of you. But that, I'm more than sure that really touched her heart and made her change and kind of feel sorry about not wanting to allow you in anyway. But like you said, stuff like that, that's where we really show that we're the salt of the earth and we're the light of men that God wants us to be,
Yes,
so,
definitely. Yes.
Yeah, that's an awesome testimony. Real life story, like you say, just happened.
It happened. That's right. That's
awesome.
right. Good.
So with your, you've been an entrepreneur, business owner, counselor, wearing all of these different hats. What would you tell a person who, like a young professional or somebody who wants to pursue entrepreneurship, or wants to start that business? They're kind of fearful, they're scared, they don't have just sound direction. They have the concept, but they need a little something else. What would you say to those aspiring entrepreneurs and aspiring business owners and aspiring professionals, counselors that are coming behind you, that the ones you want to pass the torch to? What would you drop on them?
I would share a couple of things, because my inaugural business, which was Healthy Minds, I learned a lot of lessons, and I'm grateful to those lessons, because now I can take those lessons into my new business, which is Healthy Services. And so the first thing I would share with a new entrepreneur is to research research your market,
Yes.
know your skill, know your trade, know your service, whatever industry that you're in, make sure you know all the ins and out of that industry, because we know things change, you know, trends, we have trends. So know the trends, know the market, know who you're serving, know all the laws, federal laws, state laws. So research, and knowledge, you know. That's the first thing. Get all with like what the Bible say, with all you get understanding.
Yeah.
So with all you get some understanding of what you need to do and how you need to implement it.
Okay.
So that's the first thing. The second thing is that know what type of business structure, whether it's going to be an LLC, a corporation, any of those as far as business structure. Know the business structure and how the state and the federal government recognize the business structure.
Gotcha.
And so know that part. And that's all just getting knowledge, you know. Know about the tax laws, know about employee laws, and see, I learned all these things through lessons. Some of these lessons I bought.
I know the feeling.
Lessons, right.
Yeah.
No one told me. It was trial and error. So I bought these lessons.
Yes.
So you have to know that, research all those things, understand the business, understand how your business function in society, and how the federal government and the state recognize your business. So knowing all those things, and then you being the expert in your business, you should know your business from the front door to the back door and every part, because no one should outperform you in your business. And so that's really, really crucial. And the last thing I would say to a new entrepreneur that's coming in who wants to be an entrepreneur is that it is not easy.
Yeah, definitely.
You know, so many times we feel like I want to be my own boss, that this is attractive, this is exciting, and it is attractive, it is exciting.
Yes.
Being your own boss means everything falls on you. So you have to be prepared for the absolute worst. You have to be prepared. And most likely, because we are imperfect people, you're going to hire imperfect beings.
Yes.
You're going to have some imperfect situations.
Exactly.
So how you handle those imperfect situations is crucial. It is key. Gotcha. So know that you will face some challenges, but just be prepared. You know, always have God in the forefront of everything that you do and every decision. Go with God and don't give up, because, you know, I love the story of Truett Cathy, you know, the founder of Chick-fil-A. We go back to it's just about Chick-fil-A. I need to buy stock at Chick-fil-A.
I'm telling you.
Yes, with this company. So, you know, I'm familiar with his story and his beginning, how he started the company. And he had several challenges. You know, he first opened this small chicken stand outside of a mill, him and his brother, which didn't take off as well. And I think the building, if I'm, you know, correct, that the building burned.
Oh, wow.
Yes. And then the next thing, that he was in business with his brother, the brother died. Yes. And then Truett Cathy got sick himself, like he was on his deathbed. But the persistence that he had, he never gave up. He was like, I'm going to make this work. I'm going to make this work. And so he kept going, and he said, hey, what is different? You know, putting a breast of chicken on a bun. And he made it really, really simple. Just putting the chicken breast on a bun, make it fast, make it good, putting God first. And now look at Chick-fil-A.
Wow.
So, but if he would have stopped with the first a challenge, you know, the building burning, the brother dying, we would never have Chick-fil-A. And so that would be my thing, is that, you know, never giving up on your dreams, never giving up on what God has called you to do. Because there's going to be some challenges. Because if you don't have any challenges, you ain't learning nothing.
That's true.
It's on you now.
That's true.
You ain't learning nothing.
That's true.
you got to have these challenges, these lessons to teach you. So
Yeah.
I am a better businesswoman
Mm-hmm.
because of these challenges and because of the things that I learned and the lessons that I've learned from my first business. And so, you know, don't give up, you know, and I got this new acronym that I came up with.
Go ahead. What you got?
21. It's called BADAZ. So and it's for, you know, mostly for females, and so it's BADAZZ. So BA hyphenated DAZZ, and so the B is for bold. You have to be bold and what you want. You have to be bold and not, you know, it's just like having faith, being bold, you know, not wavering in it. No matter what comes, you have to be bold in it, being audacious, you know, being full of it. You have to be determined. All this stuff, determining what you want, having a clear vision of what you want, having good goals, clear goals, and having a plan to actually execute those things. Being authentic in who you are, being authentic, you know, not trying to be anybody else, not trying to be the next housewife, not trying to be the next whoever male that's Jay-Z or whoever it may be. It's just one Jay-Z. That's it. So being authentic in who you are and who God has called you to be. Because if we're not authentic in who we are, then we are robbing ourselves and robbing God. Created us in our own likeness and our own uniqueness. And so being zealous, you know, about what you're doing and being exhilarating, having that full energy and showing up and having life in everything that you do. So those are the things that I would tell a new entrepreneur. You know, those are key things that I would say and leave that, you know, because all of this is coming from my experience. And I know these key things definitely do work.
Okay, awesome. And that's like you say, you gave a mouthful of wisdom, and we're definitely going to put these in the lower third so they can have these points, but they're all powerful. You know, most importantly, you said the persistence and also having that resilience to bounce back, because the founder of Chick-fil-A, as you stated, if he would have just succumbed to what he went through, we wouldn't have the Chick-fil-A today. You wouldn't have been in that line the other day with the lady. You know, so all of those events, even though it's opposition, even though it seems so harsh, God had his expected end regardless, you know. And as you stated, you just have to stay focused. Like you say, you know, do your homework, do your research, know what you're getting into, the structure of the business that you want. You got to work hard. It's fun, but you have to pay the cost to be the boss. I always say it's one thing to count the cost, but it's another to pay that price. And it costs, but it's worth it. There's something great about working for yourself that I can't even explain it. And I think, of course, all entrepreneurs and business owners, we can connect and we can feel each other. We know what we're talking about. We say, man, there's nothing like working for yourself. And even if you're not making the six figures or even a high, you know, 5 or whatever, as long as you are working for yourself, there's a blessing and a sure reward of freedom, you know, just a liberation and an excitement and enthusiasm about having that opportunity to employ yourself and possibly employ others. That's the whole goal as well, to be able to bring others in and to bless them as they, you know, as you be a blessing as well. But that's awesome. Thank you for those wonderful tips. And so one other thing I want you to share, since you're a counselor, and that we're facing these challenges, especially with the coronavirus, COVID and everything, what are just a few tips you could give to people that can help them, maybe some strategies as far as their mental health and maybe their emotional state, you know, some actionable tips that they could put into place just starting right now, just some small things that they can do to kind of help themselves?
Yeah, so that's really, really a great question. And thank you for even asking that, because needs to be, this is a really a message that needs to go out and go forth because of all the things that we see that's going on in our nation, in the world. So the first thing, you know, is prayer. You know, I live by praying. That, you know, you have to have a connection to divine source, you know, whatever it is to you. For me, it's God. So having a connection with God and praying, having and searching for wisdom. And so my having a prayer life and having a foundation, which is the word of God, which keeps me rooted, not keep me crazy all over. So just having prayer, having a strong prayer life, and then meditation, quieting the mind. You have to quiet and shut the mind down, because our mind, if we're always on Facebook, social media, Instagram, news, all the things that's going on in the world, we are hearing these things, and it gets in our mind and in our body structure, because we were hearing these things. And so we have to take out some time just to quiet the mind, because the mind is a powerful tool. And so if you're just hearing destruction, guess what? That comes a part of your spirit.
Yes.
So quiet your mind down and listen to the spirit. Listen to what God is saying to you and how he needs to direct your life. So having a time in the morning, and I do my meditation in the morning. I try to do it at night, but I get so lazy and get in the bed and I just
I feel you.
Stronger and meditating at night.
It's all good. You get it in the morning, at least. That's the goal. That's the goal.
That's it. So meditation is an awesome tool that can help keep a person rooted and grounded, and to decrease anxiety, because the anxiety is very, very high. Stress, grief is it's just high. It's just really up, really up. So, and then for meditation is that, spending some time getting those thoughts out onto paper, journaling, just journaling your thoughts, getting those things out, because once you get it out your mind on paper, it's out your head. Part of it is out your head, because now it's on paper. And so journaling, getting those thoughts out and putting those thoughts to paper. The next thing I'll say is just eating right, because it's so much chemicals and so much stuff that's in foods right now, and eating healthy and exercising. I've started doing yoga and I'm exercising now, and trying to, I don't eat clean every day, but 2 days or 3 days out the week, I need to be eating clean, and I need to get water into my system, because if we're consuming a lot of sugars and a lot of carbohydrates and all these things, fatty acids, then that research showed that causes depression. We need to go back to what God created us to eat, back to eat. And those are fruits and vegetables. Plant-based foods, and so, you may not do that every day, because I know plant-based is kind of expensive, but definitely incorporate some of that into your everyday eating habits, because that would keep your mind and your body healthy. Because that is what's important right now, is keeping our mind and body healthy through all of this stuff, because what we don't want to keep storing up is stress and anxiety and depression and trauma, because really the brain can't process trauma healthy. Trauma is like foreign. But we all been traumatized because of 2020 and now 2021, just from last week, with the storm, people not having water and
food,
water.
electricity.
Electricity, and my lights were, blinked, and I was like, oh, if my lights blink now, I'm gonna be like, oh, because of what I experienced last week. So it's some type of trauma that comes with every world event, like COVID. In time there's war in the world, or natural disaster. You're gonna have some trauma. If we, from New Orleans,
Trina.
Our people still having PTSD because of Hurricane Katrina, and so recognizing that, there may be it may show up in different forms, and getting the necessary help that you need. If you have signs and symptoms of extreme PTSD or extreme anxiety, extreme depression, I really encourage you to reach out to your local counseling agency, mental health, your health agency or services, because you need that help. And so don't sit in it alone, because you're not alone. because we're
Gotcha.
all in this together.
Yes,
We're
yes.
all trying to find our way and how we get back to some normal,
Yeah, yeah,
the new normal or whatever. We're
Mhm.
all trying to find our way to get back to it.
Good.
But I definitely encourage the prayer,
Yeah.
the meditation,
Yeah.
eating right, exercising, journaling. And then the last thing I would say, put your hand to something. Put your hand to something good. Put your hand to some type of service.
Yeah.
Because when you're giving back and helping one person
Mhm.
per day, that
Yeah.
means that does something for you.
Gotcha.
Your mind offer you and put your mind to helping somebody else.
Good.
So
Go.
giving those things and putting all those things together can definitely help change and help all of us get through the next step or the next whatever we're facing. But make sure that we continue to be healthy, mentally healthy, and physically healthy. And then because of pre-existing conditions for the American community, all these things are prone to us.
Yes.
So it is crucial
Mhm.
that we do our part in taking care of ourselves and taking care of our loved ones and families.
Yeah, yeah. Well, awesome, awesome. As again, like I said, you're just dropping the nuggets. This spot, Lower Third is gonna be full. They're gonna be reading all day because you are dropping them, and that's what we want. But we appreciate you sharing that dynamic and tremendous and powerful wisdom and actionable tips. That's what we want. We want to give the people steps that they can take, simple steps that they can start right now and start seeing miraculous differences in their lives. Well, man, we surely appreciate you. We surely appreciate you sharing. So before we get out of here, what we want to do, is there anything currently you're doing, like any new projects or endeavors you kind of want to share and give the people a heads up on, or what's going on? What's going on?
Well, I got several new things that's going on.
Okay.
I'm all like the guy said in this interview. Well, all of us ain't done all that. And I was like, what? Okay.
Yeah.
So I am currently working on developing some software.
Okay.
Called Track My Treatments. And what Track My Treatments is that it allows the client or the patient or the consumer to track and have accountability of their own treatment. Once again, it goes back to educating in mental health. So educating them on their diagnosis, educating them on their symptoms, on their triggers, all of this is embedded into the software. Also, having them have access to their own information, because being a mental health owner, previous owner, is that I saw so many times that people would come into the office not aware of their diagnosis, not aware of their triggers, not aware of medications that they're currently on. And so the Track My Treatments allow the client or consumer as well as the provider to communicate. It's a communication tool, and also tracking and keeping up with data and information. So currently in the stage of launching that, and I'm excited. It's been a long time. We've been working on this software for almost 2 years now.
Okay.
Hopefully we can see it in 2021.
Yeah, coming to fruition. Okay. Good.
Just launching software. And then I have a platform called Study Hall.
Okay.
And Study Hall is for parents and children because as you know, we have not done a great job preparing and educating our children since 2020 happened. And now a lot of kids went home in March. They did not receive any education.
Yes.
They returned either in August or September, and we still have a percentage of students not being educated. I actually had speaking to someone, administrator, in a small rural town, who shared with me that 70% of the students are at home, and out of the 70, they may have 25% of those students who actually show up online.
Wow.
25 to 30%. So that means you have 30% or 40% of students not even showing up. And out of 25, 30, you may have only 20% of those students are actually passing. So we got 40 to 50% of our students right now in some places who are not receiving any type of education. And so Study Hall was birthed out of assisting students, with the necessary skills they need to take back into their schools to be successful, as
Yes,
well
yeah.
as parents, teaching, educating parents, as well as teachers. And so
Okay.
we have several certified teachers from all over Louisiana and Texas who
Okay.
are actually have agreed to be a part of this great service.
Okay.
We launched Study Hall last November, and it's
Okay.
new. Still working out some twerks, and still
Okay.
trying to get everybody. Hey, this great service out here.
Yeah,
Hey,
yeah, 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 yeah.
because
Definitely.
as you and me know, we got to continue to educate our children.
Yes, we have to. It's a must. It's the must. Yeah.
We can't stop
Hmm.
we can't stop because of COVID. We can't
Yeah.
stop. It can slow it down, but we can't not stop.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because
Can't stop.
guess what? If we stop,
Hmm.
especially people of color,
Yeah.
counterparts, our other Caucasian sisters and brothers have
Yeah.
not stopped.
Yeah. Definitely. Definitely.
Where does that put our children?
Yeah.
And so we have to keep moving
Mhm.
in some form, keep running this race,
Yes.
educating our kids.
Mhm.
And so that's what I'm doing right now. I know it's a
Okay.
lot. I feel
Yeah.
like I almost feel like that guy. You do too much.
Yeah, well, look, you sound like me. You just always got, and you are living what you say. You got your hands on something at all times, not just some things. But that's the way to be. Like you said, being busy, doing great things, positive, wholesome, uplifting, and productive things. You can't beat that. Don't stop. Like I said earlier, don't stop it. But I tell you, it has been amazing. It has been wonderful. I truly thank you for being our great guest today. Before you go, just if you can, give everyone either your website, your social media handles, wherever they can find you. And of course, I'm going to put it in the show notes, the lower thirds and all of that. But this will also be audio. Of course, they won't be able to see that. But,
Okay.
if you can give them the information of where they can find you.
Definitely. For Healthy Services, it's Healthy. That's my company. So it's healthyservicesla.com. And that gives just a platform of all the services that we actually do, my team and I. And then for personal, it's DrAngie2.0.com. And that's, if you want, for his personal development and, want to live your best life and get all those great things that we talked about earlier, you can, send me a message or email there, or Facebook is Angela Nichols-Young is on. That's me on Facebook and Instagram. I just got on Instagram, so it is. I'm not even for me. So for me, it was my handle on Instagram. Let me look at that right quick.
Yeah, and I'll find it for you if you don't, and put it up there.
I think it's something Angela Nichols or something. But that's you can follow me on Instagram. I'm new to Instagram, but I try to post things at least once or twice a week, and so I am building that audience in regards to Instagram. And Study Hall is studyhall.com. So but also with Study Hall, we have a link on Healthy Services that links you to Study Hall. And Track My Treatments is coming out, and so hopefully you'll invite me back sometime next year.
Of course.
Track my treatments.
Yeah. Well, you'll be a regular guest there. We appreciate you coming, and you have brought some value, I know, to our listeners and viewers. So once again, thank you. We appreciate you. May God continue to bless all of your wonderful endeavors, you and your family, your wonderful family there. But keep on keeping on. And thanks again for being a great guest on Numeril. So we appreciate you, Dr. Angela Nichols-Young, and keep on doing what you do, and be blessed in Jesus' name. We thank everyone for tuning in to Numeril. We'll see you soon with somebody else bringing some magnificent wisdom and understanding and insight for you. So God bless. Thank you so much for tuning in to today's episode of Numeril. We hope that you have received something that was very valuable. We look forward to being with you in the next episode. God bless.